Within a year of coming to power, the party had devised an inexpensive Volksradio. Within a short time, it became the most powerful component of the propaganda machine. By the beginning of the war, there were over 12 million listeners. Not that individual listening was encouraged. Like everything else, it had to be a communal experience. In this way, any subversive discussion was blocked and people prevented from listening to foreign broadcasts. As usual, German culture stood high on the agenda. It provided a distinguished camouflage as the acceptable face of the tyrannical system. It made it acceptable to many. Even Mozart was used to give their system credibility.
An der gleichen Stelle, an der vor 150 Jahren die sterbliche Hülle Mozarts...
Baldur von Schirach lays Hitler's wreath on the spot where a century and a half ago the mortal remains of Mozart were buried.
Concerts were constantly broadcast. Beethoven's Ninth Symphony became one of the party's favorite pieces. With the exodus of so many musicians, the Nazis made sure they kept at least some of the most prominent ones in the fold. Many distinguished musicians like Wilhelm Furtwängler, Walter Gieseking, Eugen Jochum, Elisabeth Schwarzkopf agreed to perform under the Nazi flag. These filmed concerts were shown in cinemas with suitable cut-ins of the ideal audience. Richard Strauss accepted the post of the President of the Reich's Chamber of Music and gladly stepped in for Toscanini and Bruno Walter, who were no longer welcome in Bayreuth.
Ja, aber ich bin glücklich, dass ich wieder auf dem heiligen Hügel sein darf. Es ist mir eine große Auszeichnung, das habe ich Ihnen schon so oft versichert, hier den Basketball leiten zu dürfen. Und es ist mir eine ganz besondere Genugtuung, dass ich meine Dirigententätigkeit mit dem Basketball beschließe.
Meister, wir müssen anfangen. Ist Ihnen recht, dass wir im zweiten Akt zuerst anfangen?
Jawohl, hier ist alles so. Kommen Sie.
The festival in Bayreuth, too, was no longer for the elite. It became one of the focal points of Hitler's cultural program.
Auf Anordnung des Führers wurden trotz des Krieges...
On the Führer's instruction, despite the war, this year's Bayreuth Festival is to take place. On the initiative of the National Socialist Organization Strength Through Joy, 19,000 soldiers and German workers have been invited to participate in this solemn event. Richard Wagner's wish to turn the Bayreuth Festival into the true People's Festival has been fulfilled.
Hitler's obsession with the music of Richard Wagner was intense. Wagner's anti-Semitism, his ideas about the chosen race and the mystical blood brotherhood had all formed Hitler's view of the world. Germany was also among the first to develop television. In 1936, German television broadcast the Olympic Games, which became not only the shop window for German fitness and athletic strength, but also for its technical excellence.
In all television viewing rooms, you too can be present at the Olympic Games.
Here too, popular stars were used to entice viewers. Programs had to be attractive. Once hooked, people couldn't escape the political messages. Joseph Goebbels, the Reich's Minister for Propaganda and Enlightenment, saw to it that everybody working in the media towed the party line.
Manchmal bis in die tiefen Nächte gefangen hält. Dieses deutsche Volk immer
Oh, please, my boy, will you come with me? Mais oui, madame, et avec plaisir. Okay, my sweetheart, ich liebe you.
In popular music, too, the Nazis quickly replaced the many singers and actors who were forced out of the country. The Latin American singer Rosita Serrano, the Hungarian Marika Röck,
Man müsste
the Dutch singer Johannes Hester. They all appeared regularly on screen and radio to lull people into believing that everything was as it was before. With their own superstar, Swedish singer Zara Leander, the Nazis tried to replace Marlene Dietrich, who had gone to America. Leander's great hits, A Miracle Will Happen Someday, and This Isn't the End of the World, became morale boosters in the face of approaching defeat. Everything carried the same message. We are invincible. We are the best. The lead Germany had in the fields of technology, cameras, colour film, motor cars and machinery was constantly stressed. It was seen as the best way of confirming Germany as a world leader and to wipe out the feeling of inferiority many felt as the result of defeat in the First World War. Hitler was constantly seen as the man responsible for it all. He was shown opening fairs, inspecting cars, laying foundation stones, and even digging roads. It all underlined the inflated vision he had of himself.
As the pyramids record the history of the pharaohs, so too the motorways will remind the German people forever of the most extraordinary figure in its history. A man of the people who, single-handed, with no other help, by virtue of his own will, has created a new German Reich.
Even today, much of the Hitler myth is based on his achievement with the motorways. They were another symbol of the glorious and relentless National Socialist movement. The building of such an inventive and vast motorway network was politically and strategically motivated. It was meant to provide easy access for the military to conquer the rest of Europe. It was also the best means of giving people work and of getting the economy going. The motorways were an extraordinary technical and aesthetic tour de force. With their stunning bridges and sweeping embankments, they were remarkable examples of modern architecture. Built by the best architects, they also blended into the landscape.